I think we are ready to go. Alright. Hey, what's up, guys? Debo here. Ooh, actually, one second. Let me adjust my, No. Okay, I think we're good. Alright. Okay, cool. This is my seasons vlog, number 12, where we've just been talking about everything and anything seasons 4 for Diablo. Last video we talked about Greater Rift fishing and also, what was the other thing we talked about? We talked about Greater Rift fishing, and I think we talked about Paragon levels. This video we're talking about snapshotting, and we're also talking about the Greater Rift level 66 clear I got. As you guys in the last video saw, I was trying to attempt it. It took me about 96 runs to get the one clear. You know, the thing about Greater Rifts, all you got to do is clear it once, and that's it. I'm just going to go into snapshotting very quick. Snapshotting is a problem. However, as long as Blizzard doesn't patch it, it's fine, because then everybody can snapshot and do stuff, and that can be utilized to the end of the season. Debo, what's snapshotting? Snapshotting is when you take a certain effect from either a, okay, I guess the two biggest forms of snapshotting is like when a certain effect gets triggered by like maybe your attack speed or some stats that you have, and you use an ability or a certain set of parameters, or what's the best way to say this? Let me try to say it as simple as possible. Is when you take some, like, certain things, certain buffs that get greatly affected by your gems or something like that, or, you know, an effect of a certain ability, and you empower yourself up with all the buffs you can, and you trigger something that allows for a certain skill or a gem or some kind of effect to basically snapshot and take that effect permanently, as opposed to it's only supposed to last for a certain amount of seconds. So, like, a good example is, for example, barbarians use Bane of the Stricken. Bane of the Stricken, the rate in which, you know, every time those monsters take an additional take damage from you, they take more damage, and it just keeps stacking up indefinitely. It's infinitely, just keeps going. So every time you hit the monster, the more damage and more damage and more damage they take. The rate at which you can make them take more damage, like how fast, like that moves up. Let's just say, like, you know, okay, without snapshotting, let's say without Pain Enhancer, like a barbarian starts hitting a monster, and it's just basically, you know, increasing the damage steadily, you know, steadily, nothing too serious. That's normal. But then a barbarian, while they're using Pain Enhancer, you know, when they're using Pain Enhancer, they increase their attack speed depending on how many enemies are around them. When a bunch of enemies are around them, instead of the Bane of Stricken just basically triggering on a regular basis, it scales with that attack speed or utilizes the attack speed. So basically, the rate at which that Bane of the Stricken actually gets applied to enemies is a lot quicker. It's like bop, 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 bop. It goes very fast, applying that extra damage applications and stuff. So that's only when, you know, you're under the effects of Pain Enhancer. And some people might say, hey, Debo, that's perfectly fine. When you're under the effects of Pain Enhancer, I mean, that should be normal. That's just how it should be. And I'm like, yeah, that's agreeable, because, you know, when you're under the effects of Pain Enhancer, if you got the attack speed increase, there's nothing wrong with the Bane of Destruction proccing more. I mean, that's normal. That's completely fine. But the problem is, in some cases, there's a way to take the effect of the Pain Enhancer when you got all that attack speed increase and snapshot the effect permanently to your Bane of the Stricken. So, you know, that effect that should only occur when you're buffed up by the Pain Enhancer effect occurs. You could basically permanently, you know, affix that to your Bane of the Stricken gem and use that throughout the whole Rift. Another good example is in Season 1, the Aphasis Toxin gem and the Pain Enhancer gem. Let's say when you had a power pylon, instead of your Aphasis Toxin gem ticking for 10 million per tick, it ticks for like 90 million or 100 million. That's a big difference. It's like a big astronomical difference. Now, you would say, okay, well, that's not fine, because you got a power pylon. Of course, the Pain Enhancer and Aphasis Toxin gem should do that much damage. But the problem is that after you hit that power pylon, the Aphasis gem and the Pain Enhancer gem, they would not unsnapshot the damage. So if you had a power pylon for the rest of the Rift, your Facious Gym and your Toxin Gym would permanently do that much damage for the rest of the Rift, and that's a problem because your gyms are not supposed to be ticking for 100 million a tick. They're only supposed to be ticking for like maybe 10. But since you touch that power pylon, it snapshots that power effect. Maybe you don't gain the increased damage anymore, but that effect snapshots and stays permanently on your gyms, which is not the good thing for it to happen. So, long story short, is snapshotting a problem? Yes and no. If they allow the snapshotting to be used by everybody and they don't patch it out and they keep it in for the whole season, that's fine, and they can fix it next season. If they patch out snapshotting midway through the season, the people that were able to use it and get ahead will basically be on top, and the people who didn't take advantage to use it, they'll be screwed. So right now, there's a lot of snapshotting going on between different classes and different effects. Do I like it? No. Is it okay? Yeah. Just leave it in. Don't mess with it. And the next season, they can adjust and fix it. And that's basically all I have to say about snapshotting. I mean, it's just going to be something that comes into the game. And some of the snapshotting you really can't help. I mean, some of it you can kind of manipulate and make happen, and some things you could just naturally happen and you don't know any better. So, hopefully they deal with the next season. I hope they don't patch it out. It's not needed, because if they do, it'll make things weird, and hopefully they fix it by the time they get next season. And that's all I have to say about snapshotting. There's really not much to it, and they're going to have to deal with it eventually. Now, this is my Greater Rift level 66 clear. And the only thing I want to show you is just how RNG the rifts are. And this is what I'm talking about. The weird thing about the Greater Rift system is that you only need to rank once. You only need to beat the Greater Rift once, and after you beat it once, I mean, that's it. There's really nothing else to do. It's kind of silly, but I mean, it is what it is. So I might fast forward through some of these segments just to showcase, what goes on. And just show you how it progresses onward, because you guys will just basically see I got crazy mob density. So the biggest rules here are this. We're going to skip all yellow packs, and we're going to skip all blue packs that don't have a lot of trash mobs around them, or we'll try to drag the blue mobs to other trash packs, because you don't want to sit there just attacking one elite monster or a set of elite monsters by themselves without trash mob. Trash mob is the best way to gain the meter, and you want to basically kill elites while you're killing trash anyway. Now, if the elite gets very low, we can sit and finish it off, but for the most part, you're just going to basically just only fight the blue elites when you're filled with a lot of trash, and you're never going to fight the yellow elites till they die because they just got too much HP. Now, we will fight some yellow elites only if the yellow elites have a shit ton of trash around them and they're not that crazy on their affixes. So I might fight a yellow elite mob for a little bit, but that's only to kill the trash mobs around it, because the trash mobs are worth a lot of value. As you saw, that went pretty well. We got a lot of trash mobs around the blue mob, and we were able to finish it off. Now you see this yellow mob right here. I'm not going to fight it, but if it happens to follow me, that's fine. Now, if the yellow mob happens to come up here, and I don't remember if it does, this is perfectly fine, because I'm going to kill this trash mob because it just needs to die. You get a lot of meter gain, you get a lot of progress on your bar here. And as you can see, this is the kind of density that you want. This is the kind of mob type you want. They're very stupid, easy Act 1, and I think a couple Act 3 mobs. Very easy to kill, very simple, stacking my firewalls. And for my passes, I'm running Graven Justice, Spirit Vessel, Confidence Ritual, and also Swampland Attunement. Of course, Swampland Attunement's for the increased survivability when I got more monsters around me. For my, I'm trying to think here. For my, my cube choices is Furnace. Of course, it's going to be Grim Reaper, which everybody uses for Helltooth, and then Convention of Elements. And as you can see, when these elites come and you're fighting them with the trash mob, that's fantastic. That's what you want. Because if the elite monsters die while you're getting trash mobs, that's fine. That's perfect. You never want to fight elites by themselves. If you get a blue elite that you want to kill, just drag it along with you into the next set of packs or white monsters or trash mobs, however you want to call them. Because you always want to be killing trash mobs while you're killing the elite. And then, like I said, you always skip yellows and you only kill the trash mobs around yellows. So as you can see, I'm making pretty good progress right here. I should have probably just left. It wasn't worth it. And I actually got a little bit smarter about me. I was like, okay, this is pretty much dead. I don't need to fight it. And I'm just basically going to go ahead and mob up my next group. Just looking for that next group. We see the elite pack up there. We got a pretty okay amount of mobs. We got a nice pylon. We got a speed one. That really doesn't make a big difference. But We got a nice amount of trash mobs. Everything starts lining up, and now, you know, we're killing trash mobs while the elite happens to be within the pack, and that's exactly what we want. So we begin stacking our firewall, and I've noticed with the Grave Injustice, it makes a real big difference, because with the Grave Injustice, when the cooldown keeps getting reset, it allows us to stack more firewalls, and the more firewalls you have out, the more damage you do, because the firewalls do stack. So if you're not running Grave Injustice with Helltooth, I advise to figure out some kind of way. What I did is I took out bad poison or bad medicine. A Hellfire Amulet yet, but the next thing I'm going to work on is definitely getting the Hellfire Amulet. So you want the Confidence Ritual, you want the Spirit Vessel. So you got Confidence Ritual, Spirit Vessel, you want Grave Injustice, and then you also want to have Swampland Attunement, and you also probably want to have bad medicine, which is 25% damage reduction when you hit an enemy with poison, or you want to have Pierce the Veil. Either though, that's a damage increase, you know, or basically anything that gives you more survivability. So as you can see here, just more good packs in general. A lot of trash mobs, stacking a bunch of firewalls. Everything's working out pretty well. We're going to go ahead and just speed it up a scotch. And as you can see, it progresses onward. I get pretty lucky with getting these nice, decent blue plaques with instant side trash mobs. Now, truth be told, I probably could have skipped this mob right here. You don't usually fight Arcane. Arcane's a bastard. And you usually want to try to avoid shielding as well. But I looked at it, I said, well, this mob is not too bad. You know, it's still got some trash mob here. I was pretty sure, I was like, okay, I can clean this up and still get some time. But actually, the smart thing to do would actually been to just basically leave this area, because this is very dangerous. But I felt that I could handle it. But in future reference, when I, you know, fish more and I start doing 67, all up to 70 and stuff like that, because my goal is 70 for this season, and anything beyond that's extra credit. I really should have probably just skipped this, in all honesty, or left. But I mean, I was able to handle it okay. The monster didn't have a lot of HP. It had shielding and it had arcane. We finished it off, and it was all right. But like I said, I probably should have skipped that, because that's sooner. I could have been on the next packs right now, the next set of trash, you know, taking care of everything. So as you see, I'm just moving through, rounding up more trash packs, more monsters. Nothing too fancy or too crazy to explain here. This is the rift you just really hope for. And we're making really good pacing, and I said to myself, I'm like, okay, we're making very good pacing. As long as I keep moving and keep killing monsters consistently, if I can pick up and I said to myself, okay, I haven't gotten a conduit pylon yet, so this looks like it's going to be some good potential, because if I land a good conduit pylon or a power pylon right before the boss, this is going to be a wrap. We're going to beat this level. So we're going through. We're doing our damage. And, you know, like I said, once I get to this area right here and I see how much monsters are here, the only thing that can make this a lot more perfect right here is if we had an elite pack, man. If we had an elite pack too, that'd have been great. Oh, actually, yeah, we do have an elite pack. So, I mean, there you go. So now we got a lot of trash mobs. We got the elite pack too. You know, they're getting charmed by the cat effect, the cat offhand, which makes it so, you know, when you get hit, it me. And as you can see, everything's just really smooth, man. Like, this was a real solid riff, and I was like, okay, we're probably gonna beat this. I just need one good conduit or one good pylon just to guarantee the win, just to make sure that we beat it no problem. And that's it. I think we get this elite down right here. Yep, should be almost dead. And like I said, the elite took a lot of damage because we were killing a lot of the trash mobs. And like normally, if that pack was by itself, you don't want to waste time killing that. You always want to make sure you get your blues placed in a large amount of trash mobs so you can get ahead. Now I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward to the good part. Now, we're going to pause it right here, right? This is what I'm talking about. And this is why this is why I don't like the Greater Rift system, and this is why I don't like pylons. I don't think, like, this run was impressive. I don't think any of these runs are impressive. That's just my opinion, because all it comes down to is what determines whether or not you're going to beat a Rift is what spawns for you and what you get. Now, I do believe this is a conduit pylon with a high mob density around me, and this is how stupid it is. Now, I want you to watch how crazy this gets once we hit this conduit pylon. Now, look at the progression meter, and once I hit this, I said I'm going to beat this level, because... And then once I start going up and I start seeing how many monsters I have, and this is why conduit pylons are really stupid. Like, you see the power of this? Like, you see how fast that meter's coming up? All you need is a conduit pylon in the right area with the right density, and that can basically change your run from going to just barely beating it to having a lot of extra time. Now, if you saw, I mean, by the time the conduit pylon ends, I spawned the Rift Guardian. And then I said to myself, I'm like, okay, well, shit, and I got a good Rift Guardian. I said, the only thing I need to do is just play it safe and just stack my firewalls. And as you can see, you know, I mean, that's just how it goes. I mean, that's why I say that Blizzard really needs to look back into the system, because it's really weird, because the game rewards you for just basically getting lucky. I mean, the game really gives you a lot when you get lucky. It's not about what you know, it's not the proper setup, it's just basically skipping whatever mobs you can get to, just trying to kill the most efficient shit and just praying that you get a real easy rift. And we're going to fast forward a little bit, but as you can see, I got 54 seconds to kill the boss. I got plenty of time. We'll just speed up to the point when the boss dies. And that was it. Now ranked at 280 at 66. Paragon only 698, so basically 7. Hellfire Amulet. So, you know, in reflection on this whole experience, I mean, it was cool that I got it within 100. 100 keys is kind of mad, but when you think about it, 100 keys, all you got to do is just beat it once. So, I mean, if you spent like 200 keys to rank on 70, that's automatically, what, top 20? 200 keys just to get top 20 is just basically mindless spamming. That's all it really is. And I don't really think there's a big difference between 66 up to 68. You know, so if this was a 68 and I got this mob density, I probably would have been able to beat it. But like I said, I want to get a Hellfire Amulet, and I want to get up to about Paragon 750, 800 and see if I can improve some pieces of gear and get my damage up. And I mean, that's basically about it. I hope Blizzard looks into this, because the RNG, like it took so many runs just to get this one attempt. And it's just not a fun way to play, in my opinion. But I mean, it is what it is. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'll update in another 2 days or the next day if anything major happening. But I mean, pretty much that's all that's really going on with Seasons, man. It's just not too much. Hopefully, like I said, I think I'll be able to push 67 by end this week. We'll see. My major goal is to get a Hellfire Amulet, so I'm working on that and getting the keys up for that. And then if I don't clear 67 this week, I'll definitely do 67 next week. And then who knows, I might even try to go for 68. And just slowly just pushing the rifts and stuff like that. It's really not much else to Seasons, but just continually grinding and pushing these rifts and just praying for good rifts. And I don't know. It is what it is. Hope you guys have a good day. Take it easy. As always, I'm Debo, and I'm out.